talk about there.
Yes.
Yannick. And good thing that your job is as a live content manager. So we can talk about the live content, about everything in the year one.
But finally we can talk about that.
I know, it's been a little while.
Yes.
So what is kind of the focus, since you've been diving right in the deep end with creating, well, the whole live phase of the division? What's been your focus there?
I mean, I think the main idea that we've had with starting working on year one is just that we're building on what we've learned from the first game, and we know that we need to have these big major drops like the episodes now, where we are adding a lot to the game and we are giving people a reason to come back and discover a lot of new things. But at the same time, we also know that we need to have much more granular additions in between, and much more content also that comes in between each one of those drops for the people that consume content super fast, and those of you that really want to constantly have new things added to the game, don't want to wait 3 months until there's a new update. So we're also going to be having a lot of layers of additions that are coming in between.
Yeah, I know one of the things that I guess has been a focus for you is I learned a lot, I guess you could say, in all fairness, from the first one.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you think that you're most excited about that are the differences for that kind of live phase?
I mean, one thing that I'm really excited that we're actually doing is that we're adding narrative content to the game. And I think that's something that's been asked a lot with the first game, and like players have always wanted to get more of the story and keep discovering the story as it progresses. And in Division 1, we had a lot of game modes and everything, but not necessarily a lot of new narrative content. So I think it's great that here with Division 2, we are actually going to be delivering on both ends. So we're going to have new story, new narrative things to explore, and also new experiences for the players.
Nice. So there was a lot of big stuff in that trailer just now, and I know there's a lot of people upstairs who are very proud of what Tidal Basin is shaping up to be.
Yes.
What can you tell us about strongholds and that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, strongholds are part of the structure of the game, and this is up to this point that's going to be the ultimate challenge, the hardest, toughest content that you can do out there. And Tidal Basin is actually the final stronghold, so it's going to be the the base where the Black Tusk is actually. Where the Black Tusk is actually attacking the city from, and where you have to actually bring the fight to them. So expect something that's going to be tougher and much more intense than what a mission, when a main mission would actually be fighting the Black Tusk, going in there and trying to take it over from them. So that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, no spoilers, but it's impressive and big. That's all I say.
Yes.
So all the people that have been working on that upstairs, great job.
Yeah.
Obviously, you mentioned, well, not you, but the trailer mentions episodes.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can clarify on that?
Well, I mean, the episodes, so as the trailer says, I mean, it's like there's 3 episodes that we're planning for year 1. And so each one of them comes with, an addition to the narrative. It comes with new story, and it comes to the overall main thread and main story of the game keeps progressing during the entire year. So as we reveal there, like the first episode is going to bring the players in or to the outskirts of Washington, D.C., where they're going to have to explore new narrative threads or the follow-up of what happened in the main campaign of the game. And you'll have like 2 main missions for that, and as well as a new experience for the players to get involved into. And then following that, we'll have also the second episode, which is very exciting because we're actually going to go to the Pentagon. And that's really exciting because you're in Washington, D.C., and where do you want to go? Well, how about the Pentagon? How about...
Yeah, are we allowed to say that yet? I mean, it's
well, I hope we are, otherwise I'm like...
I didn't do it.
Well, the trailer says it, so...
Okay.
I guess we're fine. We're fine.
Whew. All right, I must have missed that. Cool. No, the Pentagon, that's freaking...
yeah.
That's going to be some pretty solid content.
Yeah.
No, all right.
That's gonna
so
be,
you just gave me a little... I just needed... Whew.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's actually
wasn't sure if that was one of the things we could... Yeah, okay. No, we're all right. One of the things that I'm particularly excited about, and it doesn't seem maybe that, other people would be, but resetting of all of the cool activities that you can play in the end game is going to be, I guess, a little bit more elegant, and there's a whole lot more to do. Is there anything you can tell me about how that's going to work, because if I think back to how it worked in the Division 1, there was a little bit of confusion, maybe, like some things reset on this day, some things were here, what's the deal?
We always try to make sense of all the weekly resets in the Division 1, and that always been proven very tough. Now here, so the idea is we really try to create that cadence for the players. So everything that's going to be resetting on a weekly basis will actually make sense. The resets will be happening at very specific moment for for the players to feel like, okay, now is the time to come back, because now all my resets actually happen, and now there's a lot of new fresh things. And also try to leverage that as much as possible to create that basic rhythm, that basic layer of like every day and every week I can come back because there's new things to do. And then on top of that, we're going to be adding even more.
Cool. So just getting a little bit ahead of myself. Maintenances for the game. These are the things I like talking about, because.
Let's talk about the most exciting topic. We're talking about post-launch. Let's make a segment about maintenance.
But the reason why we're doing this stream on a Wednesday is because going forward, I really want to make sure that we have this time to check in with the community before the reset and the maintenance and all of that happens. Is that going to be the case? So Thursday maintenance?
Yes, Thursday. I mean, that's what we're working with at the moment. That may always shift depending on how things go when the game launches. But yes, we are aiming for maintenances on Thursday. So yeah, we can have the state of the game, talk about the things that are coming.
So people know what's coming, and that's when resets are going to happen.
That's also what we're aiming for at the moment.
So hopefully we can give people some, some
so it's
pointers.
Like, so there's a clear moment where like the game shuts down, and then when it comes back, everything reset, and it's all new and fresh, and you can get there for the weekend.
That's nice and elegant. I feel good about that. That's
it's tidy.
My OCD is like I feel good. Everything right in there. Okay, so back to the trailer, because that was the important bit.
Yeah, there was no mention of maintenance in the trailer. So.
Well, they should.
They should have.
Maintenance happening, and
it's going to be what we're going to be talking the most about in the state of the game for the next year. So.
Raids, though.
Yes.
Dark Hours.
Operation Dark Hour.
Dark Hours. That's in there, and there's not, I guess, much we want to say about that other than what people saw in the trailer.
Well, we don't want to spoil it. It's a raid, and it's 8 players, and it's cool. And it's hard. So as I said, until Tidal Basin comes out, Tidal Basin is probably going to be the hardest thing you can do. And after that, then there's the raid. That's going to be the actual hardest thing you can do. So a nice ramp up of difficulty. So you play the game, you play the campaign. For those of you out there that we know are going to consume everything in a inhuman. Very short amount of time.
Like, it'll take them months, and it takes them like an hour.
Yeah, exactly. But so then you can start getting ready for the race of Tidal Basin, and then after that, you can get ready for the raid.
Yeah, there's a lot of min-maxing to do. So I think a lot of people will.
Yes.
Have a lot of spend a lot of time on that. We've obviously shown during the beta phases there are 3 specializations in the game when you hit max level.
Yeah.
But 3 more. In the year 1 pass. Well, not just in the year 1 pass, but in year 1.
Yeah, during the whole year 1.
What can you tell us about the specializations? Because there's not really much information to glean from the trailer. There's maybe a little bit that you can glean from the trailer, which is...
Smart people find hits. But it's... So yeah, just to be clear, we have the 3 specializations that are part of the game that are at launch, but when you reach the end game, you can unlock and you can play with. And on top of that, we're talking about adding 3 more during year 1. So 3 more specialization with complete new play styles, complete new signature weapons, and complete new mechanics.
One might say there was a mini spoiler in the trailer. Do with that what you will. I'm just
Everybody's gonna go back. What was it?
I mean, that Reddit's already got a thread about the trailer with everything, way more than we knew. Anyway, I look forward to checking out the speculation after the stream. Also, all of the other stuff that comes with it, additional exotics, weapons, like the gear.
Yeah.
How does that fit into the landscape of year 1? Because I like to use references to the past. We had big drops. When we came out with classified sets, there were 4 of them. There were big chunks. What are we doing for Division 2?
Yeah, I think it's the idea is to try to spread it a bit more. So gear is obviously a very important part of our game. So you have in endgame, you'll have your specialization, you'll have your signature weapon, but the build that you put for your character is just equally as important. You know, it's still a gear game. So we know how important it's going to be to keep adding more, and definitely we will be adding more gear in there. But we are also looking at not necessarily just doing that as part of the big episodes and the big updates, but also releasing some, you know, regularly as well for the people that are just into collecting everything and grinding all the gear. So yes, there's going to be very regular drops of new stuff.
So with the exotics, I know there's going to be a bunch at launch. I think you mentioned to me the other day that maybe not for every slot, but those will get filled out over time, and then additional ones for each slot. Okay.
Yeah. It's just you know, there's going to be some exotics that are going to be available at launch, and then more that are going to be added shortly after that, and then we'll keep adding new ones. So. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I saw a good question in here a second ago from BB504 asking, and maybe we don't know this yet, but already thinking ahead to raids. When the raid releases, is it going to release at the same time for everyone, like geographically?
Yeah.
So people won't have to switch their consoles to New Zealand. Well, no, people do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm gonna shift my region
no. It's when it opens for everyone.
All right. Okay. So it's a server-side thing that we can.
Yeah.
All right.
And then then people can just race and try to be the first ones to beat it.
Solid. All right. I like that. Okay. So we kind of maybe saw a glimpse of it in the trailer just at the end in a couple of frames, but we actually have an image of the content of the Year 1 pass, if you do happen to own that.
Yeah.
Can we just take a quick look at what is included in that? Because there's some really cool stuff in there. Obviously, people actually spotted the cute backpack trophies from the classified assignments rewards.
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit about classified assignments. We did talk about the new specializations and additional bounties and projects.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the whole instant unlock of the specializations?
Yeah, so it's, you know, as we said, there's 3 new specializations that are going to be coming with Year 1. And just to be clear, these are free. You can get them for free. You can unlock them through gameplay. But if you have a Year 1 pass, you can unlock them directly. But
so
everybody,
locked.
No, they're not locked. Everybody gets to get them, but it's just if you have a Year 1 pass, you get them directly. If you don't, you'll have to achieve a few things to actually unlock it.
Okay, cool. So can we talk a little bit about the classified assignments? Because I think chat might have picked up on the use of the word classified, and maybe, you know, you think classified gear, but that's not what the terminology means here.
It's like classified as in classified information or whatever.
Okay, all right, just to be clear.
Yeah, but yeah, the classified assignments that's a Year 1 pass exclusive, and the idea of adding a small narrative layer for the Year 1 pass holders that's going to be diving a bit more into the fall of Washington, D.C. and all the things that happened prior to the events of the game to kind of discover a bit more all of that aspect. So that's, story bits that the Year 1 pass owners will get to discover.
And the backpack trophies are tied to those?
They are tied to that.
Okay, very cool. Will we get a Collecting What Remains podcast episode 3? Please.
For free, not as part of the pass.
I mean, there's content.
Come on. There's going to be a lot of new story to explore, so that would be great.
Chat, if you can give... Tanks is probably in chat. Deep Fried Dave, probably not. He hates us now. But no, he's fine.
Yes.
Please make that podcast, because that lore podcast was my life for 2 episodes, and that was it.
Those were 2 fantastic episodes.
They were really good. Bring it back, please. What else do we have on here? Oh, projects and bounties. That was the thing I wanted to talk about, because people had I guess the beta is the best reference on this for us, because there were projects at the settlements and the base of operations.
Yeah.
How does that work for Year 1 pass holders?
So you have additional projects and bounties, and that's going to link to the additional activities we had mentioned prior in the pass. So that's one aspect of it. The other one is the classified assignments. And the idea here is just how to give just an extra benefit to the Year 1 pass holders. So what they will have is extra daily projects and also an extra weekly bounty on top of the ones that are normally available in the game. They won't have any extra, any exclusive rewards or whatever. It's just one additional avenue for people to get gear.
We haven't shown the full bounties scope in the beta with the bounties network, but that's a similar type of thing for year one pass holders.
Yeah, I mean it's the same thing as what will be available in the game. It's just you get one extra weekly one as a year one pass holder.
Cool.
So it's the whole fantasy of like hunting down high value targets and everything. It's an extension to the HVT feature we had in the first game. Just a cooler version.
Cool. All right. I want to talk a bit, because I think it's important that we are clear from the get-go about monetization in the Division 2.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that? Again, to be clear, I'm asking Yannick in the sense that he knows things, not that he designs things.
I mean,
but what's the?
It's a part of the game, so might as well talk about it.
What's going on?
So there's two ways to monetize, or there's two aspects of monetization in the Division 2. The first one is the year one pass, and we've talked about that.
Sure.
So when you buy a Gold or Ultimate Edition, you get your year one pass. Later on, we also make the year one pass available for purchase separately. So if you want to wait and see if it's worth it after the game launches, totally cool. You can do that as well. And then the other avenue is the monetization inside the game, and here we're looking at basically the whole layer of cosmetic and what we call apparel, which is basically the way to visually customize your character.
So people would kind of know apparel caches as what they experienced as encrypted caches.
Yes.
But we have a new system for how that works.
Yes, exactly. So the way we deliver these items in the game now is, and these cosmetic and apparel items, I'm going to refer to them as apparel now, so get used to that. That's how we call it. But basically, you get it through apparel caches, and there's two types of caches. There's the ones that we call the standard caches that you get all the time through gameplay. So it's like you play the game and you get some key fragments, and once you get a key, you can open one of those caches and you get some random items. And this is very similar to what we had in Division 1. But also all the items that are available in this standard cache can also be purchased individually in the store. So you can basically, if you see an item that you really like, you don't have to just like keep rolling in these caches. You can just directly go buy it if you want.
But can you purchase a standard cache if you want, or only?
So not the standard caches.
Okay.
But then on top of that, we have the second type of caches, which we call the apparel event, or for the apparel event. And these are specific to a specific time frame. They are available only for a specific time frame. And these you can unlock through gameplay as well, or you can directly buy caches, and you can roll for a chance to get specific items. Now, this is built on improvements to the encrypted cache system we had in the first game. So there's a few improvements we've made there based on what the people wanted to see in the encrypted caches. And I think the biggest one of that is that you will not have dupes. So when you get not the standard ones, the gameplay purely ones will have dupes. The ones that are gameplay or monetized, so the event ones, will not have dupes. So that means there is a specific amount of caches you would need to buy if you want specific items. You know that if there's 30 or 40 items available as part of that cache, if you buy 30 or 40 of those caches, you will have everything, basically.
Okay. So you can say that if you spend money, you will never get a duplicate.
You will never get a duplicate.
Okay. And how is that visually represented? I haven't actually seen it. So when you get an event cache, you can see everything that is in.
Yes. So that's
cache?
the other thing we're doing. That was also a requested addition, is the fact that now you can look at what's actually inside the cache. So you know exactly what are the items you can get. All the items are on the same drop rate, on the same chance of acquiring them.
So if there's 10, they're 10% each.
Exactly. Okay. There's 10% each. And so you can see all the items that are available in this cache, and you can also know which ones you have and which ones you don't have. So you have very clear visibility on what remains to be acquired there.
Okay.
Now, if you don't want to spend any money on that, the other thing is that once a vanity event ends or an apparel event ends, all the content that was in this cache becomes available in the standard cash. So the ones that's only available through gameplay, or you can buy it.
So you can still get it
individually
later.
at the store. Exactly.
All right.
So if there is, as part of this apparel cash, event cash that is available and that you can purchase, if there's this one specific thing you want, but you don't actually want to buy the cash for chances to get it, you can just wait until it's added afterwards in the store to buy it individually.
Yeah, I see Charlie Pryor in chat is saying, so to clarify, the same stuff you can get with payment, you can get within game without payment.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
And everything is cosmetic and doesn't affect the performance of your game.
Yeah, it's all purely cosmetic.
Cool. That makes me very happy because that's easy to deal with. All right, we have a little bit of other things to talk about.
Yes.
But I say a little bit. Yeah, actually, Ella brings up a good point. I did see that in chat as well. Can we clarify again what is the deal with stash space for pass holders?
It's not for pass holders, but it's linked to the. It's a perk of the Elite Agent pack that comes in some of the.
Okay, sorry, that's what I meant.
It's not linked to the year one pass. So once again, the stash space, the extra stash space, is basically an early unlock of extra stash space. So what we've said is that when you start the game, for everybody, you will have access to 50 slots of stash space. And then you will get perks that you can unlock through gameplay to extend that stash space all the way to 100 by the end of the campaign, and then 150 total in endgame. Now, if you have the perk to get the extra stash space, what happens is that the 50 you're supposed to unlock at endgame, you will start the game with that perk already unlocked, which means you start the game with 100 stash space, and then you can unlock through the campaign all the way to 150.
Okay.
So it's a convenience addition for people to have more storage at the beginning.
Cool. All right. Well, I did say that we had a little bit left to talk about, and when I say a little bit, there's actually pages of patch notes. This is my favorite part.
Yeah, because there's a small thing happening in just a couple of days.
Yes. Well, we've already been through something recently, which was the test, which we were kind of quiet about for the open beta, which I guess was a PTS.
Yeah, we had the technical test, and the idea with this technical test was just we've made a bunch of changes, as people have seen now, from the private beta for the open beta, and we just wanted to make sure, we wanted to confirm that those changes were actually a positive for the game, made the game better, and there's some final things we wanted to test before we open the gates for the open beta. Okay. So
how did the test go?
Hey, it went really good.
Okay.
I think it went really good. It confirmed everything we wanted to confirm. We identified a couple server-side things that we were able to fix before the open beta. So it's all positive.
Cool. Yeah, there were. I think during the test there were a few things that I noticed. People were getting the notification for the Viewpoint Museum mission, but we hadn't opened it.
Yeah.
Because
it was actually the open beta build. So like there's new content, there's new stuff available in the open beta compared to the private beta. But we didn't want to spoil it either. So there's one new mission, for example, in the open beta, but we didn't want people to spoil it during the technical test. So we locked it. So you could still unlock its availability, but then actually if you would go there, you would be unable to start it. And that was intended because the test itself was not, or the purpose of the test was not to test that mission. That's something we're saving for the open beta. So the purpose of the test was really more on other aspects.
Cool. I see a lot of F's in chat from a while ago, but I guess that was from Stash Space?
No, the stream went down for a second for some people, but not everyone.
Stream went down for a second? Okay, it looks like there's no drop frame, so it must be on Restream side. Sorry about that. Yes, so in the upcoming open beta, which starts on Friday?
Yes, Friday.
At
10 a.m. our time, so 10 a.m. CET.
Yes, so 4 a.m. East Coast, 1 a.m. West Coast, 10 p.m. on Friday night for New Zealand, and Sydney, 8 p.m. So it's important. It's important that people know.
I can't do that.
Well, I mean, New Zealand's kind of easy right now because it's just 12 hours.
Okay.
And then Australia, Eastern Australia.
12 hours ahead of us.
Yes, because we're from the future. We know things.
You know things.
We know things you don't know.
You see the days before us.
Exactly. But there are some changes made to the build.
Yeah.
And there's a few things I want to go through
Yes.
that I think are really cool. People brought up signature weapon ammo
Yeah.
as being
And
something
I
that was
think
a little confusing.
there's one thing I just want to say before we go through that. I don't know how many people from the team, from the dev team, are watching this stream, but honestly, congratulations, guys, because people have been doing an amazing job at just following up on the private beta and trying to fix as many things as possible to the open beta. So I just want to say kudos,
So cool.
and we have a fantastic team.
Aw. Cute. Real cute.
That was us patting ourselves on the back. No, about those changes.
Now all the things that we have improved. Oh, well, not we, but smart people. The drop rate
just
of
the two of us.
We did it
overnight.
The drop rate of signature weapon ammo has been increased. I know that people were also a little bit confused. And actually, the trailer that we showed earlier on the stream, which is now live up on YouTube, does a good job of explaining how to get that.
Mm-hmm.
What's the case for open beta with this change?
I mean, it's just, again, it's the idea of, like, a lot of people had difficulties in the private beta with the end game mission to actually get ammo because it was not necessarily clear how to get it. And even when you would actually succeed, you wouldn't get much. So people didn't really get to experience the signature weapon the way we would want them to. So it became very clear that we just needed to be a bit more generous in, you know, in signature ammo. So that's the idea behind this change. Basically, it's just, you know, give them a bit more, and so people can actually have fun with the signature weapon.
There's also parts of the specializations that aren't in the beta build as well. Like, so there's that whole ecosystem which people will find out at launch.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
The whole trees.
There's a whole progression aspect of the specialization is not actually available in the beta. So there's much more to dive into once you actually get to play them in the game.
Exactly.
The real game, I was going to say.
The
beta is not a real thing.
Not a real game. When we were doing the streams during the closed beta, Frederick Thylander was in here, and we got questions about the weapon mod bonuses, where they were basically, maybe you don't want to use them. So there's a change to make sure that the drawbacks are generally lower than the positive bonuses.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I think that was the feedback we got as well. Was just like, you know, the end result of the, you know, the plus and the minus resulted in something that was pretty much neutral, and, you know, a mod should still be a bonus at the end of the day. So I think that was important to kind of tune that a bit, so it feels like you're gaining something by using the mod. Yeah,
I heard people even saying that, like, maybe it makes sense to run unmodded, and I guess that kind of
that's
not something we really want.
The way we want it.
The RPM of semi-automatic weapons has been reduced overall. Cool, good to know. I mean,
sure, it makes Frederick happy, so.
Yeah. Well, this is the reason why we do these tests, and we'll talk a little bit about the PTS in the future, actually, once we get through these patch notes. Several adjustments to the power level and handling of specialization weapons. Cool. Thanks for balancing. Enemy health and armor, there's a lot of tweaks there.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I think it's just to go on that very quickly, but it's, you know, it has to do with the armor and the tankiness of NPCs and the bullet sponginess in a way. So we're pretty happy with where the game was at, but there were still situations and things, especially in the end game mission, where, you know, it just felt a bit too much. So we wanted to address it, and this is a direct answer to that. It's just
You'll be interested to hear from the people who have played the hardest difficulty with the 4-player scaling, and seeing how that's affected in the open beta. That's really cool. Increase the team-wide cooldown for enemy NPC grenades, RC cars, and
because
suicide
Hamish
drones.
marked in yellow the things he wants to talk about.
I didn't mark in yellow, Ella did that.
So Ella marked in yellow the things she wants to.
No, they're important. I mean, I don't want to claim.
Not that the other changes are not important. They are.
There's a lot, but we'd be here all day.
There's
if
a
we
lot,
went
but
through
yeah,
all of
that
them.
would be a 2 hours stream just to talk about them.
But yeah, so the Black Tusk enemies that start throwing, you know, driving their little RC cars at you and suicide drones, that's going to be.
Yeah, it's reducing the spam a bit. It can get a bit exhausting when you're just constantly being spammed with.
And there's some Hyena Russia stun baton shock status effect changes. So that's cool. The one, this is my favorite, I think. Despite the meme potential, sorry Reddit, that's what it says if you read the patch notes. Rushers do not curse as much while rushing the player anymore.
It was incredibly annoying.
Drew sent me a video.
It was incredibly annoying.
Drew, who's been on our streams and is in charge of the AI here, he sent me the most hilarious video of a Rusher just going at it. It's Anyway, it's one of those things that I will sadly miss, but I'll save that video and we'll share it in a few years because it's hilarious. But yeah, that's lowered a little bit.
Yeah, that should be a bit quieter, a bit more, you know.
But it's
It's
not gone, right?
No,
not gone. They're still rude.
No, it's not gone.
They're still super rude.
They're still insulting you.
Yeah, it's still mean. Fixed an issue where having VSync off would cap the frame rate to 60. I mean, that makes no sense. Turn VSync on, it should cap frame rate, sure.
Yes.
But these are all the things that, again, tests come back to. Do you want to take over from there?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that are highlighted here, like fixed an issue with airburst grenades, sometimes damaging the player on the server before the client grenade reached its destination. Basically, that's the grenade delay that people noticed, and some people got concerned, like, oh my god, did that come back from the Division 1 because we had that issue in Division 1? It was actually a complete different issue, but the experience and the result was pretty much the same. So yeah, that's fixed.
Cool.
Which is cool because we had Philip just here actually to talk about it when we were doing the beta stream.
Oh yeah, when you spoiled the open beta.
But I may have mentioned something about an open beta.
Thanks, man.
I tried to keep it discreet. I tried to
fun.
make science to chat to keep it to themselves, and then ends up in a clip with like tens of thousands of views.
Hundreds of thousands. Did you know that was one of the most watched clips on Twitch?
Was it?
Yeah. Was it the top?
The fifth most watched clip.
Yeah, fifth most watched clip.
Can I put that in my CV?
Yes, you can. You can put it on your LinkedIn. Well done.
It's gonna make employers very confident in hiring me.
And now there's we probably shouldn't talk too much about that because there are important people watching the stream downstairs that we are.
Well, for all I know, I might have said something I wasn't supposed to say already in this stream. So
right. Sorry.
I might be fired, and I don't even know it yet.
Yes. A cooldown has been added to aim assist. Oh, this is
Moving
important.
on.
Moving on. And this is for our console friends out there. A cooldown has been added to aim assist, preventing snapping on the same target repeatedly within a short time. And you know what we're talking about when we're talking about that.
That thing.
That thing.
Yeah.
Cool. And again, give us feedback on the open beta because we oh man, broken record, or as Ella would say, broken CD. That was fun. But I feel like we have talked about this a lot. We talked about it a lot during the Division 1, and it's going to be one of those things that we consistently want to address. So again, we understand the frustration for the people who are dealing with those issues, and do let us know if the changes that we've made for the open beta assist your experience, because that is important.
Absolutely.
Fixed a bug where a player could repeatedly pick up loot from the same Dark Zone crate. That seems broken. Cool. Not anymore. Again, and I've always said this, killing wildlife will no longer trigger skills, you monsters. That's what
it's also written. It's not Hamish. Hamish doesn't care if you kill wildlife. It's just what the
just be
patch notes said.
consistent.
Just because.
Like, anyway, if you're gonna kill people, kill wildlife. I just.
Well, you're not killing people.
Well,
you're playing a video game.
And this is my opinion, and not the opinion of Ubisoft. But if you can kill,
shut it down.
No. I'll say, if you can kill animals, you should be able to kill civilians. It seems like a bit of a double standard. Just saying. Division 3.
But would it trigger skills? Is the question.
Okay. All right. That's just my opinion. It seems inconsistent. Fixed weird doors. Good.
I mean, they get everywhere those weird doors.
No, it's true. I don't know why we still have weird
There's
doors.
so many doors in the game, so there ought to be a few weird ones.
Yes, exactly. All right, a couple more, and then we are out of here. Improve several NPC animation issues such as legs snapping, offset weapons sliding across the ground, and missing facial animations.
Yeah, there were a bunch of those in the beta, and people reported them, and everything that kind of looks ugly with the NPCs behaving weird. So yeah, we improved a bunch. It says improve, not fixed. There might still be some in the open beta. So if you experience any issues like that, please, if you can actually make a short clip of it, that's even better, but do let us know.
Cool. Enabling and disabling the on-call option with the controller now works properly. Cool. Improved. Loading screens have been made slightly darker. Again, not a dark mode, but they are slightly darker.
Yeah. It might sound like, it's not that big of a deal, but actually we got a lot of feedback on that because...
Oh, no, that's what I mean. For those people who were giving that feedback, which I saw a lot as well, that is, tuned down a bit. Again, the brand, the visual identity for the game, the Division, and you'll actually see it on the whole state of the game screen behind us. It is a bit brighter, a bit, all of that. You can see it. Look, look, like this. So we're aware, and that has been fixed. Okay, and there's a whole bunch more.
Yeah, I'm
in
trying
those
to
patch
see if
notes.
there's anything cool in there.
But if any of our mods can post those, because they are up now. Yeah, they're posted. Cool.
Also, do people need to
And there's one you actually did not highlight, but I think is very important because that's the one that almost got me fired. Fixed an issue where on-call status did not persist across sessions.
Cool.
So that's the call for backup. If you turn it off, it will stay off.
That's good.
We will have this fixed for open beta. Is
Great.
what someone said.
Someone also asked. Well, it was Ella, but I know people in chat asked about it too. If they play the private beta, have the client installed for the open beta, what should they do with their game install? Should they delete it? Should they
the private
keep it
beta?
on there?
No. Keep the private beta client if you still have it.
You won't have to download everything. If you
Yeah,
have
the
that?
open beta is going to be a patch. So it's going to be a patch to the private beta client. So yeah, if you still have it, keep it. But we'll save you a few gigs of download.
Cool. That's good news.
Yeah.
I guess that's all we want to talk about in terms of the open beta. Well, I mean, have we said? I mean, people saw in the technical test, but new level cap.
Yep. So yeah, the new things we have in the open beta are there's one new main mission, as we've said.
Viewpoint, right?
Yes.
Cool.
And there's a higher level cap. What else do we have in there? There's two more things, but I forgot now.
Forgot what they are. There's a new
there's a new
PvP
skill.
map.
There's a new PvP map and a new skill.
Yes, the chem launcher is in there.
Yes.
I can't wait till we show people the Firefly.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
That'll be
cute.
fun too.
Anyway, future thing. But yeah, new skill, chem launcher is in there.
Yeah.
And please do give feedback on that because I know people on the technical test were giving feedback and we want more of it. So
yep.
Please do that. Before we head off, I kind of want to remind people that agent highlights is still a thing. And also, I want to start a new thing on the stream yet. And I don't know if we've talked about this. But over this whole period of the betas, have become kind
of off script.
No, this is on script.
Is it on script?
Yes.
Maybe I just didn't read the script. What is it?
Wow. So, photo mode is really cool. I think it's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Obviously, with agent highlights, we have a way for all our cosplayers and artists and various people throughout the community who have different forms of art to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a little high barrier entry for some people, but I think the fact that everyone now has photo mode is a way for people to get involved in creating really cool stuff.
Yep.
So what I want to do is using the Division 2 photos. Is it the Division 2 photos or Division photos? Division 2 photos.
It's written the Division 2 photos.
And now I don't know if in the graphic that I'm about to show you what I wrote.
It's no two in there.
Okay, don't
It's
show the
not.
graphic. But yes, using the Division 2 photos hashtag, what I want to do is, so on Twitter, post your photos or videos or whatever you want taken from the photo mode in the Division. And what we'll do is during State of the Games, we'll do like a little segment on what those are because I want to see what people make. Then what we will do is once a month, like we do for the agent highlights, we will choose people who are awesome and we will give them free stuff. So you don't any longer have to invest in things that might be a little bit beyond your grasp. Like cosplay is hard, man. Cosplay is really hard.
It is.
So if that's not your thing, you now have this avenue as well to get involved.
Just to be clear, you don't just have to be awesome. You have to be awesome and actually use the photo mode.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, so here's what you do. Take photos or videos using the photo mode and share that with us using hashtag the Division 2 photos, and we'll get a thing going, and that'll be really cool because I think people will do all sorts of really cool stuff.
Oh yes.
That being said, and this is again another throwback to I was going to say a simpler time, but it wasn't simple. Well, it wasn't simple at all. Back to someone who's been a stalwart of our community for a very long time, Vincente Productions on YouTube created a really, really, really cool video, and you didn't have to break the game to make it because we now have the photo mode.
Because we have photo mode now, yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that you can make with the photo mode now. And we'll show that in just a second. But that's going to be everything for today, man.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say before we head off?
No, I'm just glad we're doing State of the Game again.
Me